What's up, horror fiends? Your boy Ricky Grimes. I'm back. Horror Fiend TV podcast, episode 9. We're going to be talking about The Walking Dead mid-season finale, season 11, episode 16. This one is titled Acts of God. I got my boy Joe, my partner in crime. What's up, Joe? How are you, sir?
I'm good. Actually, I was looking forward to this episode. I'm gonna see how you feel.
Yeah, all right,
But
cool.
considering we're getting to the mid-season of the final season, I'm gonna see how you feel.
Right. Before we continue, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. We would highly appreciate that. I know you're horror fiends, and we got that good shit for you. So yeah, this is the final season of Walking Dead. This will be your last Horror Fiend TV podcast until the show returns. Don't fret, we got some good stuff coming, so we'll let you know about that soon. Joe, initial thoughts. Now,
Uh,
what you say?
Initial thoughts as a whole, I like the episode. Um, I'll be honest, I wanted a bigger death. I mean, if we're getting to the final season, this is the mid-season part 2 of the trilogy, I guess, for the final season. I wanted to see a big death. However, one of the best things of this episode, the cinematography and the music was fucking off the chain.
I got the music in my notes, which you touch upon it now, so I'll get into it now. Excellent. Bear
Yeah.
McCreary, underrated, man. He's done so many good shows. And this show here, oh man, The Locust. Let's go into it. The cold open when the locusts are around. Like I was like confused, like what's going on? And then as the episode progressed, it was a theme throughout. So we got Lance and the cold open. Our boy Lance, we love Lance. Talk to me, man. What's going on with that?
Well, for me, like Locust represents one of the. It's an act of God, which
Yeah.
is what the episode is called after, and I think it was called back to when Moses, when he was trying to relieve the people, that the locust came down.
Mhm.
So this was obviously when the locust came around, there was a sign that something bad was coming.
What were your thoughts when you saw Lance outside the Barrington house with that utter destruction next to a bloody Pope on the floor, which later on we'll know who that is?
Well, when we saw that, I realized that whatever plan Lance had went to shit. Like that was literally he was there showing up. Like when he picked up his foot and he had the blood on his hand on his foot. Like I didn't look at it as blood. It was more like shit on his foot.
Yeah, it was like black.
Yes. So for me, it
Yeah.
was like kind of like my plan went to shit. They had this moment, and then you see Max in the office as Pamela is preparing a speech, kind of going over it. And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to stay behind and finish this up," for her to steal the file that Connie and Kelly
Yeah.
wanted her to steal. And then Sebastian shows up.
Oh,
When
bro,
Sebastian showed up, ugh.
was he on drugs?
Um, you know what? I swear to God, when I looked at him especially my second watch, he looked like somebody who was
Yeah,
kind of fiending.
he was on something. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he
just
looked like
like,
they had that sweaty, like sorry, hit
yes.
my mic, but he had that sweaty look going on. But so for me, the only thing on this whole entire part is that it had a great build up. So because I was expecting big
Mhm.
deaths in this episode, um, I thought that once Sebastian had saw the file that Max had, because he looked at it,
Yeah, he looked at
he
it.
knew
He
exactly what
knows.
it was.
He knows.
So if he would have turned around and killed her right in the beginning, we would have known our, heroes, their plan was going to go to shit.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. However, the intensity just watching it, because I felt like there was a whole cat and mouse going on. And in this scene, Sebastian was the cat, and then you had her finally present the file, and Magna, who we haven't seen. What was she washing dishes the last time we saw her?
She probably still had her scrubs on, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like she was doing some kind of work. Magna's there. She calls Ezekiel. So now the big plan is in.
We got Max, Magna, Eugene, Kelly, Connie, and Ezekiel, right?
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
I'm missing?
Because Magna. So Connie, Kelly, and them had contact Magna, and Magna got Ezekiel to come in.
Right. Yes.
And so now we have all them working together. And, because we're jumping right to the end and we'll go right back. Then you had Pamela drop the newspaper, basically saying Pamela is lying. When Max, like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
I was just so like taken over by the font
It
that
was
Connie
terrible. It was terrible.
it's
That newspaper was horrible.
it's something Connie was so the font Connie was so used. Is it safe to say Pamela's in on this? The files were in her office.
Oh my God.
And we're going and we'll forget we're talking about the list in case anyone not
Yes.
we didn't touch upon it. The list. The last prior episode for Horror Fiend TV podcast, we talked about. I asked you, who's behind the list? Like,
So it does kind of show that Pamela may be in on it. Unfortunately.
Interesting. I would never have guessed that.
I didn't either, but it would maybe just again because we're all going by what we read. So
unless the files are planted,
we want them to go a little bit different route. What we thinking is going to happen, but yeah, no, like maybe Pamela is in on this, and because she's funding a government, she needs the money.
You know why I don't want this? Sanctuary or another Woodsbury or another Terminus. I don't want this to be just another place that the heroes go to. They're all bad and they got to conquer it. I want Pamela to be good, and just 50,000 people. There's going to be a small splinter cell of folks that are going to be bad. They are the rotten core of the Commonwealth. That makes sense. I don't want it to go all the way to the top, but that's just gonna be okay. They're all bad, and we've been there and done that.
All it's doing is painting what the government is like. It's all it's doing.
That's it.
Because if Pamela was in on it, that means that the money that they got from the house is basically essentially going into the money for the government. They might be they might not have the money to continue running the government that they want to try to run. So then now they need to get the money from somewhere else.
Right.
So Pamela could have been in on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I don't want that. Like you said, you don't want it yourself. But it would just kind of paint it in the way that kind of government is, like the money's got to come from somewhere.
Your hands are never clean.
Never.
All right. Daryl, Aaron, Gabriel. Let's talk about this, guys, because they're in some shit and they know it. They know that once they get to where they got to get to, they were expendable. And like you mentioned, and you called this. Lance has no worries, no trepidation whatsoever about taking out.
I said it.
Daryl, Aaron, and Gabriel. And
I told you that they were in his sights. That is his kill list.
And I love our heroes, our survivors are smart. They know this. So the whole time they're just patiently waiting for their moment. They're going along with everything they're telling them to do until they know, okay, now we gotta defend ourselves. This is it. The shit's on. What's up? What you thought about that?
Well, for me, like you had Daryl telling them that we have to wait for opportunity. Well, we knew the opportunity was going to show up as soon as, and I can't remember the name of the guy, the Spanish guy with the.
Oh, I don't mean to cut you off, but in the last episode you mentioned when I said, well, Lance, he wasn't. What did I say? He wasn't that upset, or he didn't show it, or whatever. And you were like, no, he's mad. He knows Maggie's fucking lying. He's mad.
Yeah.
So now Daryl and them, they know the same thing. They know, all right, he ain't buying this. They're gonna come after us. We gotta be ready. So I give you credit for that. Good.
I know, I told you that. But what is the name of the guy that was leading the group that was gonna try to kill Daryl and them? He ended up getting killed. Daryl shot him in the head.
Oh, this Commonwealth soldier?
Yes.
I have no idea, man. I'm sorry.
All right. But when Lance is calling him, and when he goes, all right, you're the next part, and he goes, finish. He didn't even say finish it. That's the whole part. He just said finish.
This reminds me.
Oh shit! That's the call of
yeah.
All right, kill him.
But
so I knew what was going on.
The Star Wars fan in me, when that happened, I'm thinking of Execute Order 66.
Yeah,
Palpatine taking out all the Jedi. That's what they're doing. They're taking out
that was the Execute Order. So when they show up at the junkyard, and you saw the way that the junkyard was kind of shaped, that they were closed in. So you knew what the plan was.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what I loved was I loved the shooting. I love that you actually saw that our heroes got hit.
Yes, yes. I
So I
love
mean,
that.
it wasn't like, because it's kind of corny when you see these shows
Nothing happens.
and
Yeah,
everybody's shooting and nobody
unscathed,
gets hit.
unscathed. Yeah, I agree.
I will say my only little complaint is that I don't know if you peeped this, but Gabriel, when he was shooting and he was aiming, was with it. Did you see that?
No, but you
It was
always.
with his bad eye.
I'm worried because before the show's over, they gotta show some extreme gore. It's not there anymore. I don't know what's going
It's
on.
not. It's coming though.
Oh
This episode
man.
got pretty close to on the
Like if you
gore.
were the final season, what do you got left to lose? Who gives a fuck?
The last two episodes had pretty good gore in it.
When Daryl passes Aaron the the firearm and Aaron just grabs it like ta 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 ta.
Oh my god, yeah.
Great scene.
That's what I'm saying. Like this
Great
was
action.
like choreography, like everything that was done for the
Oh yeah,
scene,
the stunt people were all great, all great.
top notch.
Top
Like
notch, excellent.
A plus on it. Like that was a great scene. But like I said, what I really enjoyed was you were seeing people in a fire fight,
Yeah.
and even your heroes getting hit. It's like we've seen it enough in movies where you see a lot of gunfire and nobody gets hit.
Yeah.
But like in this one, our heroes were getting hit left and
Yeah.
right.
Bro, not to digress, but you mentioned Mercer is on the top of the block for being the big kill from Sebastian, right? Maggie and Negan has a show coming up. There's details, there's filming details. Carol and Daryl's show now, no information about that. No information. Now, you know what I'm getting at.
Yes. It could be
There's
still
still
be
a
that
chance that Daryl, because like I said, it Daryl.
he too was not happy with the announcement of the show, by the way. There a lot of the people with the spin-offs were not happy with the announcements.
It's stupid. It's stupid. Why
But
do that?
it's just a way of throwing us all off because
But
like you
what
said,
if?
you
What
got
if
details on Maggie and Negan's show, but we don't have
nothing?
details on Carol and Daryl's show.
So you can't put all this like foreshadowing with Daryl and Sebastian just for him to go ahead and kill Mercer. Because as much as that makes sense story wise, it won't be an impact because Mercer ain't as if Mercer was introduced maybe 4 seasons back, okay. But he's still a relatively new character. I don't think the impact won't be as felt. Because we're talking about in the comics, remember guys, spoilers all over here. In the comics, Rick Grimes, this is his death.
Yeah.
So in the show, the only thing comparable to that, if you're going to even do it again, Daryl. Maggie has a plan, son. Maggie has a plan now. She's gonna try and what is she arrest? She wants to rescue and save her people from the hilltop and get them the hell away from there.
Well, she knows at this point she's
she
got to
knows
take
they're
out
coming.
Lance.
She knows she's coming. She want to get them away from there, but she's gonna go and hit up Lance first, man. What's your thoughts about this?
I love this segment. I mean, because this was a Maggie, Marcos, Elijah, Herschel, and Leah moment.
Yep.
Like this was for me in this episode. This was one of the best parts of the episode. However, in the names that I just mentioned, that's one of your deaths.
Yeah, of course. You knew that was coming.
I wasn't happy with who it was because it didn't give me the impact that I wanted.
No.
Especially where we're getting at right now.
Yeah.
So I like the scenes with Maggie showing up to bring Herschel to Negan. I fucking love that Negan realized, dude, your son doesn't trust me. He doesn't like me.
And the
you want to leave him with me?
And Negan knows that no matter what, his son is a constant reminder of what he did to Glenn.
He did, yeah. So, I mean, but this has solidified what I was telling you because Maggie said one thing that she has not said very rarely in this series.
Bombshell.
She trusts Negan. Unfortunately, Negan's choice and what he did, it threw off a lot of non-readers of The Walking Dead who turned off from the show, with those kills. But now you're understanding his motive. It wasn't ever, I like this was, if anything, it showed that his motives were never really selfish. Ultimately, he was looking out for his people.
Yeah.
And that's what he made Maggie see. Because when Maggie said, it's not about the hilltop, it's about the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it went click. I got it.
Negan now was a physical ed teacher, so he's used to being around kids. And if you see him and here's Negan, he wasn't this evil bastard that goes around just bullying people. That was never him at all.
No.
He realized early on in the zombie apocalypse, if he's gonna survive this, he's gotta become stronger. He's gotta do
Yep.
something. And that showed you that he wasn't always this mean antagonist. He became that, and what he did would never be taken away. But the fact that even to this day, that's still with him. The only thing that bothers me is he talks a lot about Glenn, but what about poor Abraham? Nobody brings up poor Abraham. That line that Annie said to Maggie prior episode, when Maggie said he doesn't get to forget, and Annie tells him he hasn't.
He hasn't.
He's living with that every day of his life.
And I do believe that. I do believe that's the
Yeah. If you would have forgot about
the
it,
one thing you can make about an antagonist in a show is have an antagonist that actually has some moral compass.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of people thought that Negan never had a moral compass, but that's why I was telling you from the beginning of the season is him trying to make Maggie understand he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So this was you seeing his moral compass. He had to do what he had to do for his people.
The Barrington house is no more. Long story short, they blew it up. They used it as a trap to lure the Commonwealth soldiers in there. A lot of them bit the dust, but of course, she wasn't expecting Leah to be part of that. And Leah assassinates Marco, who is a character that's been here since season 9. He's a comic book character, so R.I.P. Marco. You lived longer in the show than you did in the comic. Him and Elijah had a lot of like this bond together, which came out of nowhere. They started, so you knew he was gone. You saw it. You saw it coming. And then, of course, she was the bloody head that Lance glanced over in the cold open. So we know now it was poor Marco. And yeah, he's gone. And at the hands of Leah. Now Maggie sees Leah, and Maggie's like, oh shit. So she tells Elijah and Lydia to go ahead, but they're gonna go ahead and meet with the group, right? Is that where they went?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's Maggie and Leah. Maggie lures Leah to this house. And yeah, before I get it more into that, why don't you give me your thoughts about this whole situation up until this point?
So as I said earlier, the cinematography was off the chain on this episode, but the sound and in this scene, when Leah came out, like literally, you got this like the way it just came out.
The soundscape's amazing.
Holy shit. Like, I love the music they used on her. It showed the ominous of her character.
Yeah.
Like, just boom, like just showing up. I love that scene.
And it made it scary.
It did. I am not a Leah fan.
Me neither.
But that scene was just holy. When she came out, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
People are fucking dead.
We're fucked.
And then you had them walking through the woods after when Maggie sent everybody else to go away. And it's just them two, and you had the locust. This scene, the interaction between both of them, I love the cat and mouse. I think in this show, and I mentioned in our Three Corners when I talk about cat and mouse, this was a great scene between the both of them. I enjoyed it so much. It was the best part of the episode. And even after she caught her, I'm gonna tell you, fucking Leah kicked Maggie's ass,
which is good. I wanted that because Leah's a fighter. Maggie's a leader, but Leah's a fighter.
Oh my gosh, when she was fucking punching her, I felt that on my face as I'm watching this. Like, I'm like, holy shit.
Bro, what did I tell you maybe a couple of videos back? I told you they're gonna take Dwight's death and remix it somehow in the show to give it to Leah. So Daryl came in and shot her, no hesitation, just shot her in the back of the head. Because Maggie, for one thing,
would have been dead.
She's like a sister to Daryl, and Daryl has a life death to her in a sense because what happened to Glenn. Daryl still feels responsible for that, so he didn't hesitate. It wasn't Leah or Maggie. Which one? No. Maggie was in trouble. He don't care who was on top. He's saving Maggie. I love that. I love the fact that he took her out. didn't hesitate, didn't mope about it, just picked up Maggie and was, you okay? First thing he did, he didn't say, oh, fuck, I killed Leah. No. Maggie, you good? They hugged each other. Great moment.
I love two strong women, literally fucking kicking each other's ass.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting for what they believe in.
Two alpha
This,
females, bro.
oh my god, this was like honestly
good. That was good. That was good.
Like honestly, I love, and it's been a while in The Walking Dead where you see two women, because generally it's been men on men.
Daryl pops in, of course, like we said, he kills Leah, hugs Maggie, but he shoots Lance in the face.
Oh my god.
He shot Lance in the face.
This is when I knew the shit's about to hit the fan and it's gonna go sideways.
If we debated before, is Lance gonna be the villain, or because in the comics he wasn't a villain?
He's Sebastian.
He's a villain now.
I told you that.
It's a comparison I mentioned earlier. He's got the coin, always flipping around to make decisions now. He did it in this episode. Now he's got a scar half his face. Come on, man. This guy's Two-Face of The Walking Dead right now, man.
Well, here's the thing. Like, so he's doing all this, and mind you, if you don't think about it, in the back of his mind, he's trying to take care of all this for Pamela not to find out.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So now he's about to show up to Pamela, because before we get right to the end.
Yeah, without everyone else.
All right. So when he does eventually, again, before we get to the big finale.
Yeah.
So when he eventually does show up to Pamela, he's got to explain how he's got this like scar on himself. But yeah, when he got shot, I was like, oh shit. It's going sideways now.
Let's get into this. The very end now. As we see the Commonwealth, they took over Alexandria, Hilltop, and the Oceanside.
Oceanside was horrible.
They took them all. They took over everything. Now, Aaron, Gabriel, Daryl, they're starting to run. Where are they gonna go? Rosita, the kids, Ezekiel, Carol, they're all there. So they're part of. They're all Daryl's friends. Like, what's gonna happen now, man? Because this is totally different from the comics.
It is.
They're really labeling the Commonwealth as villains. In the comics, it wasn't like that at all.
It was
Sebastian
open, it was open closed. It was open closed for the Commonwealth being it depends on your perspective.
Yeah, he got a bad corner, but this is beyond that. Like, now we got Pamela's involved with this list somehow. Hornsby, thank God they didn't kill him here, because I want more of Josh Hamilton until the very end of the series.
He'll die at the end. Listen, when the music came on, I knew that something was going to go wrong.
Yeah, he's
and then all of a sudden you saw the banners drop. Was it Hilltop first? Yeah, Hilltop was first.
It took Hilltop.
The banners dropped down Hilltop. And then so here's the fucked up part. The banners dropped down on Hilltop and Alexandria. You did not see the banners drop down on Oceanside.
What did you see?
On Oceanside, you saw the people being lined up.
Yeah.
And then he flipped that fucking coin.
No one's talking about that.
Dude, that's Two-Face. Like you said.
Yes,
it's Two-Face. It's the whole, like...
You can't make a decision without the coin, bro.
Yes. So when he flipped that coin and the people lined up, literally you had... I don't know about you. I had the sense of feeling that those people are being lined up for like a shooting.
Yes.
What do you call that?
Execution.
Like execution.
Yeah.
Like they're all like, it's a message. Like
it's a message. It's a message.
It's going to deliver a message. I mean, music, score, everything was awesome.
This is how you do a mid-season finale. It's not a cliffhanger per se. Like, oh my God, what the fuck?
No, it's not.
It's done in a way where, oh man, okay, I'm ready. What's gonna happen? So I love that tremendously on that. One nitpick I got here. This is the mid-season finale. There's no Rosita. Where's Rosita? That's my girl. Where's Rosita? Why?
Actually, she did not show up at all.
No Rosita, no Mercer, no Princess. No Yumiko. She's pregnant. The actress is pregnant. I get why she's not. I get that. But yeah, like when they let Ezekiel into the meeting, okay, where's Carol? Where's Rosita? What's going on here? Like, come on, guys. Last season, it's like they struggled to put so many people on screen at one time.
Yeah.
They gotta pick and choose. I don't like that. Anyway, whatever. It's a nitpick. It's not gonna deter from the episode. I loved it.
Oh, because you love Rosita.
I love so as Hispanic.
I know how you like Rosita.
I gravitate towards Hispanic characters because we don't get
Ah.
too many of them, and she's such a
I
strong
agree.
character at that. She's not just when she first came on, people probably thought, "Oh yeah, she's eye candy," but no, she became a strong character all around, like very important to her group, and she's very useful. She ain't there just for be TNA. The Locust, Acts of God. The Locust, obviously, we talked about it in the beginning of this video. Let's cap it off. Let's bookend it. How awesome was that?
I'd love the Locust because Locust is a sign of the end of times. I like the Locust going throughout because what you realize is that when the people had their speeches and talks, the Locust showed up.
Yeah.
So it was just a sign
That
of
sound, that swarm, man. Everyone looks up and looking at it. It's so
well,
good.
I live down here, so you every once in a while you have the cicada season, which is similar to the locust season.
Yeah, it's loud.
So
It's
yeah,
loud.
no, like that sound. When you hear that sound, it is a impending sound of death, and that's what you got through this episode.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Awesome. Hey, Joe, anything else you want to add before we go?
No, we're gonna rate it.
Let's rate it. What you got, son? You're first.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 3.5.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 3.5 because I enjoyed the score and cinematography. Again, kudos on that scene with Leah coming out of the house when it's all on fire, and just the score, like that,
Yeah.
like you just knew somebody was about to come out and just kick your ass.
Yeah.
So awesome on the score. But yeah, 3.5 for me.
Cool. I'm gonna give it a 4 because this episode, as a mid-season finale, like I said, no cliffhanger. Everything that was touched upon before, most of it, not all of it, but most of it at least got tied up at the end. But they still left it with a few questions to linger on to the next final 8, so we could discuss it and talk about it and keep it in our minds so we don't forget. I like that. I like it. I didn't want no stupid like cliffhanger where it's like something stupid where someone's bit, or like when Negan was going to kill someone, they just cut it. None of that crap. They tied it up very nicely, and they kept you wanting more. When I saw Hornsby taking over all the communities, it says, as an avid reader of the book, that's not in it. I was all in. So there's so much going on, and we still have 8 episodes left, and there's gonna be no filler in these whatsoever. There can't be. Cannot be no filler whatsoever. Because we had some in here already, and they don't need any more. I think now it's just gonna be the rebellion. They're gonna take them out. They're gonna fix the Commonwealth for the greater good. Sebastian's gonna be pissed, take someone out. Then we're gonna get the fast forward to the future, and I think that's how they should tie this up very nicely. I think all that led because of this episode, the way it was structured. So for that, I enjoyed it. Not the greatest mid-season finale, but definitely one of the stronger ones, because the Locust, the way it bookended everything, the music, the score, the sound design, the acting. The only thing I don't like about it, like I said, some of my favorite characters, for whatever reason, didn't even appear when they should have. Other than that, though, I'm going to give it a 4. All right, guys, remember, this is the last episode until we return. We're going to take a break. This is the Horror Fiend TV Podcast, episode 9. Episode 10 will return when The Walking Dead returns for part C, the final 8. I can't guarantee I'm not going to cry on camera when it's over. We're going to see. Joe, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up here?
No, I'm all good.
All
Great
good.
episode.
All right, guys, remember, please like, subscribe, share this video, come back with us. I'm Ricky Grimes. This is Joe. Embrace the chaos. And remember, stay scared.
Don't get bit in the next couple of months.
Destiny's devils be savages. Slim to none chance with the averages. Sinning on the low like you added slick. Darkness make you disappear like a magic trick. Put up to the table, come down and sit. These devils try to tie you the crown with it. Now you surrounded by counterfeits, trying to chop you up into 1,000 bits.